It is the question I am asked most often. How did you become a work-at-home mom? And today I'm going to tell you about my journey and how I did just that. Okay, so my journey to becoming a stay-at-home mom is going to look a little bit different than a lot of other people's journeys. And I think you're going to find that too. If you're trying to become a work-at-home homesteader or work-at-home mom, this is geared towards the work-at-home moms. And that's because I'm a work-at-home mom, and that was my original goal, was to be a work-at-home or stay-at-home mom. So today I'm talking to you if you're wanting to be a work-at-home mom or dad or whatever. But I'm going to share my story. My journey may look a little bit different than yours, and that's how it kind of goes. We all have different skills. We all have different hobbies. We all have different abilities and creativity. And so, you know, there is no one size fits all, like, okay, this is how I became a stay-at-home mom or work-at-home mom, so this is how you can do it. It doesn't work that way. But I can give you my story, and then I can give you some basics. In high school, I always wanted to get married straight out of high school and have kids, and I did exactly most of that. I got married when I was 18, straight out of high school. I had Junior 3 years later. We have tried for more kids, but it just never happened. It's never happened. I always joke, God's going to wait till I'm 40 and give me another one then, which I would be okay with, but obviously it's not, you know, it's not something I want to deal with completely. But when as a teenager, I had a job at a local Mennonite store. And that job, when I turned 18, right after I graduated, so it was that September, I got a job working for my local newspaper. I always loved to write and just be involved in writing and things like that. So the newspaper job was an incredible opportunity for me, but I did not write for the newspaper. I never wrote for the newspaper. I was actually in their circulation department. And so I dealt with the daily and weekly deliveries of the newspapers and any of the other publications that they had. And very quickly, I worked my way up into an admin position. And it was really beneficial, getting me off the ground and getting a good solid foundation into the business and media world. But so I started that job in September after turning 18, and that October I met Mark. And then that January we were engaged, and then that March we were married. So I had not even been at my job for a year, hardly even 6 months, before Mark and I met and got married. And so from the beginning, since my dream had always been to get married and raise a family, taking the job, I said, you know what, eventually I want to be at home. But my thought process was that my husband would make enough money where I could be home. And that did not happen. My husband made good money at the time, but not like extremely good money. We were living in a small house. It was like 350 square foot loft apartment, basically. And about 2.5 to 3 years after we got married, we bought the house that we're in now. It was a fixer-upper. It was a foreclosure, and it needed a lot of work. And so, you know, I wanted kids right away, but he didn't, which was actually good looking back on it now. But what happened was, in the back of my head, I always had the conscious decision of, and he did too, because we were both very dead set on homeschooling when we did have kids. And we always had the decision in the back of our mind. And, you know, every decision we make has to be so that eventually I can be at home, whether I'm working at home or whether I'm just a stay-at-home mom. And so every business decision and goal that I have made up to the point of being able to work from home was made instinctively based on, I need this, and my end goal needs to be that I'm working from home when we have children. So what happened is I actually weaseled my way into some jobs. I found, you know, if you want to work from home or if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, typically what happens is you have to find a work from home job first, and then you find yourself in the stay-at-home mom situation where eventually you may not have to work. I still work. I still have a real job. I say that, somebody's going to get mad, but I don't mean it in a harsh or condescending way. But I still have a job. But we're not there yet. So I weaseled my way into some jobs. I took some side jobs while I was working a full-time job. Even after Junior was born, I got pregnant, had Junior. Junior, it wasn't until Junior was, he was a year and a half to 2 years old when I quit working at the newspaper and found myself in a position, like an admin, general manager type position at a local regional magazine. And I got that job because I started doing side jobs for the publisher. And then I was like, yeah, no, I could do this for you full time. I could do this. I could take on more jobs for you and I could be your go-to kind of girl. And so I was. And he said, you know what? You're a great asset to my company and I'm going to bring you right on in. And eventually that job led into the general manager position for the magazine. And then once I felt firmly in place, we went through some things financially. My husband, his work got really, really slow. But long story short, so I got my way into the magazine job, worked myself up to general manager, because I was determined. If I had a title and a job that was that big, that I could start working with flexible hours. And so I was in the office 5 days a week, but gradually that came down. So it went down to 4 days a week and then 3 days a week. So 3 days a week I was working in the office, 2 days a week I was at home with my baby, which was huge, absolutely huge. And so that's how it worked. I started going down. After I worked my way up, I started going down the ladder. And so it eventually came to where I was in the office 2 days a week and then down to 1 day a week. It was like Thursday or Friday I would go into the office. And the rest of the time I was at home. And so eventually I worked myself into a sales position for the magazine. I demoted myself. I mean, how many people can say that they've done that? I demoted myself, found a replacement for me, and I went into a sales management position for the magazine, which allowed me to stay at home full time. Because with sales, because we were regional, I didn't have to go out a lot. And I was only doing meetings every couple of months. So it was really nice, but it was really hard. It was really hard to have a sales position and for it to be successful when you're at home, homeschooling and raising a baby. And I think a lot of people don't realize that when they think, oh, I can do a work from home and it's busy. You're a lot busier than you think you are. So now, trying to make my long story short again. So now I don't do any of that. I don't do sales or anything. Writing is my passion, and so I took on writing a little bit more full time. I was finding that my blog was doing really well, having affiliate links and things like that on there, which was writing. I was doing some freelance writing for a couple magazines, a few other blogs, for different things. And now, obviously, I'm working on the Homesteaders of America conference. You can get this shirt and link below. And just following my heart and following my dreams. So that's the lowdown. When a lot of people think, I work from home. Oh, it's so nice you get to work from home. And it's almost offensive because it's not like I was handed this. I worked really hard. I worked really hard to be able to be at home with my baby. I mean, Junior was four when I started working full-time from home completely. And so I had 4 years of his life that I wasn't with him every day. Now listen, guys, I understand that there are people who have to work. I have to work. I do. Well, I don't have to work, but I enjoy doing some work to help bring in income and to take that stress off of my husband. He has many times told me, go ahead, just quit. But I like contributing to my family. But this isn't about the people who have to, work outside the home. You're watching this video because you want to know how to work from home, how to get a work from home job. So there are a lot of different ways you can do that. Some of them I explored, some of them I did not explore, but I'm still going to share them with you. I don't have a list, so I'm kind of going off the whim here of what I can remember. So bear with me. So your first rule in trying to work from home, not to become a stay-at-home mom, that can come later. But to work from home, if you're really serious about it, then you're going to have to put in some elbow grease. You're going to have to get over the fear of talking to people. And what I mean by that is a lot of times you may already be in a job, especially if it's an office job, where you can telecommute. And, and that's how I started. Go in and talk to your boss one day and say, hey, maybe I could work from home 2 days a week and come in the office 3 days a week. Or maybe I could work from home 1 day a week and come into the office 4 days a week. You don't know until you ask, and go in and saying that, I'm asking because I just, what does it hurt to ask? 9 times out of 10, your boss is either going to say, okay, I'll think about it, flat out say no, or they'll say, that's actually a good idea. You could do that. Guys, working from home is so much easier now than it was when I started trying to do this 10 years ago. A lot of people telecommute now. A lot of people work from home now. I mean, there are some businesses, Homesteaders of America, take for one, my magazine that I was working for, completely run from home now. We don't even have an office front anymore. So there are a lot of businesses that completely allow their employees to telecommute. Ask. I encourage you to get over that fear and just ask. Start little. Say 2 days a week. Okay, I can come in 3 days a week and work from home 2 days a week. That's 2 days at home you didn't have before. And then work your way up to something, a little more full-time at home. Earning your boss's trust is a big thing. So earning that and showing them that you can work hard and that you can make it work is going to really be beneficial to you. The next step is don't be afraid to venture down other business paths. Now, obviously, I stayed in the media industry, but it was very scary jumping from the newspaper industry to magazine industry because they're two totally different things. I had zero experience in the magazine industry, and it was just very, I wasn't quite sure how to deal with it. But you don't know until you try, once again. The entire working from home, can I help you? No, okay. The entire working from home idea is that it's gonna scare you. You're gonna have to make decisions and ask people questions that you don't want to. But that's the only way that you're gonna be able to work from home. So you're just gonna have to try and do it. The other option, if you're not currently talking about your current job or looking for another job, your other option is to do things that, look into your hobbies, look into your creativity, your abilities, your skills. If you have a skill in graphic design, start doing graphic design work on the side, and eventually maybe you might get enough money to make it into a full-time business. Maybe you're good at administrative stuff. Virtual assistants are amazing. I encouraged Tangi over at The Caver's Wife to become a virtual assistant. And basically you're just doing admin work, social media work, YouTube work for people who need it, who don't have the time to do it. And you just basically, you make your website, you start putting yourself out there. Go into groups, especially if they're homesteading groups, and say, hey, you know what? You guys don't have a lot of time on your hands. Let me do your social media for you. Let me do your YouTube for you. Send me videos. I'll edit them and put them up for you. Let me keep track of your schedule. Let me send out emails for you. Let me send out your newsletter. Send me stuff to print off, and I'll mail out the stuff that you need printed off. There are endless possibilities to being a virtual assistant. So choose your skills and choose the things that you know how to do best and market it. The other option is to, maybe you're a photographer. There are so many avenues. You have a skill. You have an ability. Even if it's writing or sending out newsletters or doing just some simple administrative stuff. You have a skill and ability that you can market. Now, with that said, you might have to take a pay cut, but we're going to get into that in a second. And the third option is look for jobs like doing surveys. Maybe you could do surveys, online paid surveys. Look into Ebates. If you buy a lot of stuff online, like a lot of people even buy their groceries online and stuff now, you can make a little extra money doing those things. And then you can take a pay cut from your current job or something. Find a skill, find something that you enjoy doing or something that you're good at doing and market it. So how do you market it? So it normally begins with getting on social media, putting a resume together, putting a package together, and saying, here I am, here's who I am, here are my abilities, here are the services I can offer you, and have at it. Start a website. You can start free websites through things like Blogger. WordPress even has a free website option, but They also have a paid website option, which is a little bit better than the free one. And then put yourself out there on social media, Instagram. Today's world is technology driven. So if you want to be successful enough to be able to stay at home and work from home all the time, then you are probably going to have to involve technology in some way, which you are, because you're watching this video. So you're already one step ahead. The other option is to market yourself locally. Go around to businesses, put an ad in the paper offering virtual assistant services, because 9 times out of 10, virtual assistants might cost a little less than actually hiring an employee. Think about it. They don't have to pay for your insurance. They don't have to pay for your health care. They don't have to pay taxes on you. You know, there are a lot of things, because you'll be an independent contractor, so you'll have to pay your own taxes, which is intimidating, but it's really not that bad. It's really not. We've been doing it for years. And there are a lot of deductions that you can take off of your taxes. If you have a home office, if you have mileage, if you have, if you buy 1,000 envelopes, you know, you can take ink, you know, a computer off, a camera off, a graphic design program off, different things you can take off on your taxes. Another option is to do something in direct sales. As a lot of you know, I actually do rep for doTERRA. I do have it as a business. I do make some money off of it. If nothing more, I get money back to get more oils. But in my situation, it's something that I was already using and something that I'm already passionate about. I'm passionate about people taking control of their healthcare because I know it works. And so I was able to find something. doTERRA is not like one of these pyramid scheme companies. A lot of people think they are, but they're not. You never have to buy or sell anything to join doTERRA. But if you want to become a wellness advocate or somebody who sells doTERRA, then obviously you can treat it as a business and you can make pretty good money off of it. So that's another option for you. Consider finding a direct sales company that you're passionate about. A lot of these company structures are structured nowadays so that it is beneficial to you. Now, I'm not talking about like things like, you know, LuLaRoe or like 31. There's only so many purses and leggings you can buy. Though I'm sure there are a lot of women who make a pretty good money off of that. But I'm talking about things that you're passionate about. So, maybe you are passionate about leggings. Maybe you are passionate about purses. But I was passionate about healthcare. And so I chose the essential oils business because that's something I'm already talking about every single day of my life to you guys and to my family and friends. And so I thought, well, if I'm already doing it, if I'm already talking about it, then why not make a little extra money off of it? Because the reality is, we all have to work. And so why not support someone you know instead of going to a big box store? So that was my theory. So that's another option for you as well. But the moral of the story, and the big thing, if you're really serious about working from home, you're going to have to take a pay cut. Not 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to take a pay cut. In your mind, you're taking a pay cut, but in reality, you're really not, because you're not spending gas money. You're not away from home every single day. So you're kind of, you know, saving a little bit of money. If you're wanting to be a stay-at-home mom, you are, you're taking care of your kids. You're not paying for daycare. If you're homeschooling, you're not, you know, you're not sending your kids to private school or sending them lunch money to school, you know, if they go to public school. There are a lot of things that you can save, and you can cut costs by cutting services to your home. Maybe you get rid of the landline. You only use your cell phones. Your cell phone is tax deductible, by the way. Maybe you cut down on the TV. Don't have TV at all, which, guys, I don't watch a lot of TV. So that wouldn't be hard for me. We've gone without TV for a few years. We have it now because it's actually cheaper for us to have TV, internet, and phone all in one package deal. But look at those things. Ultimately, because I'm coming up on 18 minutes on this video, and I think these are things a lot of people already know, but maybe they're things you haven't thought about. Ultimately, remember that it's a leap of faith. I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be at home, and I wouldn't be living the dream if I didn't work for it, and it wasn't a little bit scary. Everything that's worth it is scary. It is. It's a scary process. But, you know, we've seen bad times and we've seen really good times, and we are headed into some really good times, I think. And as my talents and skill sets grow, I'm able to offer more things to more people. Invest in yourself. You're an investment. Treat yourself like one. If you have something to offer to other people from a work from home position, treat yourself as an investment. And I promise you'll get your return. Maybe not right away. Maybe it'll take a year. Maybe it'll take 3 years. But isn't it worth it to be at home with your kids? Isn't it worth it to be at home and taking care of your house? Now, there's a romanticism behind being a work-at-home mom. And the romanticism is not true. My sister, I'm going to use her as an example. When she started working from home, she was always out busting my chops. Like, oh, you get to work from home. You're so lucky. You're so special. You get everything you want. And I get it, because I was like that too before I started working from home with other people. But then when she started working from home, she realized it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was an adjustment period for me too. It took me about 1.5 years to be adjusted to working from home after working in a business corporation setting for so many years. And so be prepared to understand that working from home isn't all rainbows and butterflies. You're not going to have a hot meal on the dinner table every single night at the same time, especially if you got kids at home. The house is going to be a wreck. It's not like you're cleaning up and then you're leaving the house. No, you're there all day long. You're going to have dishes in your sink all day long. It is a constant process, which is why I'm starting the Homestead Homemaking series. So just keep that in mind, that there's a romanticism that isn't true. But it is worth it to be at home and to love on your kids and to love on your family and to be a homemaker, and to bring in a little extra income. So this wasn't really a video to tell you how to do it, but to give you options, maybe options you hadn't thought about. Now, there are certainly ways to make money off of your homestead. If you're wanting to be a work-at-home mom and just do completely homestead stuff, that's another option. You can sell eggs. You have to sell a lot of eggs in order to make some money. You can, sell livestock. You can have, pedigreed livestock. Registered livestock is the only way you're going to make any money off of that. You can sell meat. You can raise meat and sell meat, but that's a hard job too. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law are going through that right now, and it's a hard sell sometimes with the market being so saturated. You can do milk shares. You can, again, it's your skill sets and your crafts, your ability to make cheese or soap or bread or grow vegetables. It's the same with working from home, non-homestead related. You have skill sets. You are an asset to somebody. Figure out what it is and go with it. Do it right. Talk to your spouse, or if you're a single mom, take into consideration that there are finances involved and there are things that you're going to have to pay, but the leap is so worth it. So think about it and consider taking that leap. It is so much easier nowadays to do telecommuting and to work from home than it was when I first got started. Businesses and technology have changed a lot in the last 10 years. And so they make it easier for you to work from home and be a work-at-home mom. I would venture to say probably 30% of the people that I talk to on a regular basis, if not more, work from home. Almost every day. Almost every day of the week they work from home. Moms, that is. So whether it's blogging or writing or being a virtual assistant, being a photographer, or just being a homesteader, you can do it. You can do it. It's hard work. It's not going to happen overnight, but I would encourage you to take a look at your skill sets, take a look at your finances and think, okay, what could I cut back on? That way I can take a pay cut and work on my work from home position to be with my kids. So that's my 2 cents for the day. I hope that you enjoyed this. Hey, ask me questions because I'm always here to answer them. I literally get the work from home question almost every single day of my life. And so if I can help you, if I can push you in the right direction, if I can give you clients, I gave Tangy clients of mine that I couldn't keep up with anymore. And that's what it's all about. It's all about helping each other, moms helping moms, homesteaders helping homesteaders, and just seeing what works for you. So I encourage you to do it. If you have questions, ask them. And otherwise, I hope you have a great day. I hope you take that leap because it's worth it. And happy homesteading.